Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Bringing Back the Smile with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance consultant, and 25 plus years of educating, motivating, and inspiring people just like you, regain control of their life, become the best you can be, and most importantly, working towards happiness. Happiness is the end game. Happiness needs to be needs to be the end game, but is it the end game for you? Are you living a life where if someone looks at it, they see, yeah, that person's striving towards happiness, they're striving towards it as fast as they possibly can? Or are you pretty much just sitting waiting for it to happen? Well, Bring Back the Smile has many purposes. I came up with this concept a couple of months ago, and mainly because of what we've endured as a globe, as a race, human race, for over 13 months now, and the incessant negativity, and people's mental health has suffered so much, and some people have been lost through mental health issues, unfortunately, and it's escalating out of control. There's many issues around the world that need addressing. Many people are suffering, as I said, from so many ways, and just people just emotionally are very low, energetically very low, vibrationally very low, mentally feeling very low. I've had my own struggles throughout this last 13 months, like I've shared with you guys on last week's show. But what's important always is how we react. And Bringing Back the Smile is about just that. I want to have this show to play some kind of part in bringing back the smile to you. And as I shared last week, I have great plans for where we're going to go with this. And every week I'm going to share some tips and strategies that will help to make you feel better within yourself, about yourself, to achieve your goals, to work towards, as I said, creating happiness in your life, because that is the most important thing. I'll also be having guests on to share some inspirational, uplifting stories. Very excited about some guests have already got confirmed for the coming weeks. So I'm really excited about that. I know you're going to absolutely love them. Going to have on shows, future episodes, we're going to have music, we're going to have comedy, all these kind of things are going to uplift you. We need to get back to living. Okay, we need to get back to living. Unfortunately, people have lost the ability to live. A huge amount of people, not all, but a huge amount of people. A lot of people have literally forgotten how to, because it's so long not living. And I want us to start living again. I want Bringing Back the Smile to be the spark to get more people back living again, more people back smiling and laughing and feeling good. Because when you smile and you laugh, you feel better. You're releasing the hormones and the chemicals that make you feel better. This is why it's so important. This is why it's so important to be human. I want you to become more human. If you've lost some of your human traits, which I see all around us. I see all around us, so many people are not really that human anymore, being dehumanized, and it's time for us to rehumanize so many people. And that's what my motivation is for the show. I want us to, bring back the smile. I want to bring back your smile, and this is why it's so important that you share with me what you want. Contact Your Media TV, contact me directly. What would you like to see on the show? Have you got a story of triumph? Have you got a story that's inspiring? Do you know someone who has an inspiring, uplifting story? Because these are the kind of people I want to get on the show to chat, have a little discussion, get them to share their journey. Do you know comedians? Do you know musicians who'd like to get on and have a little piece on the show where they give us some uplifting music, they tell some great jokes to make us laugh. Maybe you've got some wonderful poetry that's going to inspire and uplift us and make us feel good. Anyone that's creative, I want to Bring Back the Smile to be a bit of a platform for them, so that they can be part of the show and part of this movement that I'm trying to create, that's going to help to bring back the smile. So if you're a person like that, or someone like that, get in touch with me directly, or get in touch with Your Media TV itself. Very excited to let you know. I can't share too much details, but very excited to let you know that we've had discussions this week, myself and Your Media TV's owners and producers, in terms of like possibly even an all-day event where we're going to have loads of musicians, loads of comedians. We're going to have different types of therapists. We're going to have just a day of uplifting music and fun and laughter. And over the coming weeks, I'll share more details with you about the specifics. Once we've got it confirmed. But I'm really excited about this project and where it's going to take us and take as a globe, because this is a global audience. A global audience tunes into their media TV, and this can be a global event, an event where we're going to bring the globe together, and collectively, we're going to be uplifted for a wonderful day of entertainment and laughs and music and jokes and poetry and anything that's uplifting. If you'd like to be part of it, if you're, as I said, a musician, a therapist, a comedian, or you can add anything, that's uplifting, again, stories and so on, get in touch again with our media TV or get in touch with me directly, because we're putting together now, the specifics of what the show or event is going to be about, and it's going to be super exciting. It's going to be a development on the Bringing Back to Smile idea, where that's like a weekly show, but this is going to be like for practically like a whole day, depending on how many people we get to be involved or want to be involved. So if you'd like to be involved or you know someone, get in touch with us and let us know. And as I've said to you, I want this to be an engaged show. I want you to tell me what you would like to have on it, topics, questions, share your jokes, share announcements. I want to have this weekly show where we're going to announce things, whether it be people's anniversaries, people's good news, promotions, birthdays, giving like that live shout outs of birthdays, whether it be for children, for adults, it doesn't matter. Bringing Back to Smile is about being uplifted, okay? And I want to do everything I can, but remember, I can only do so much. I need you to engage. I need you to engage with myself, your media TV, and Bringing Back to Smile. Get in touch with us to share your stories, share your jokes, share your announcements, share your uplifting stories, all this kind of stuff that we can put on this and really work on helping people. And what is positivity? How do we bring back the smile? Well, we need to decrease our consumption of negativity. That is something that's massive, okay? And over the last 13 months and ongoing, we're consuming so much negativity, so much negative energy. And what's that going to create? Only negative emotions. So we need to switch that. If you've been feeling very low and very down for the last while, whether it be for a few months or most of the last 12 months or so, ask yourself why. What do you feed in your mind? What do you feed in your mind? Your mind is a control tower. Okay? Your mind is a control tower. I want you to really understand that. Because when you understand that, then you can understand more and better why you feel a certain way certain days and why you feel totally different other days. And also how you react to situations. How you react to situations has a huge impact on everything that happens on your day-to-day basis. So it's very important you get clear that, here is the control tower. What goes on between these two ears is a control tower. So you need to feed it. We speak a lot about feeding our body and that gets publicity, but do you hear much about feeding your mind? Not really, do you? It's very rare. The word mental health is thrown around the odd time here and there, but there isn't a huge focus on it. What you feed your mind is massive. Everything that goes into your mind. Think about what you're watching, think about what you're listening to, think about what you're reading, think of the people who are in your life, who you pay attention to, who impacts you. Is it negative or is it positive? The biggest step I can tell you to take, and I strongly encourage you to take and urge you to take, is to audit your circle and eliminate those who do not serve it and who are negative influences. Limit exposure to those you can't quite eliminate, and be very conscious of what you're feeding your mind in terms of material. It's like you being on this show. This should be a positive mind feed, okay? But if you watch something like EastEnders or any of the soap operas, or you watch the RT News or any news station broadcast anywhere in the world, that's a negative mind feed. When did you last hear a positive news story? When did you last hear one? It is an absolute rarity. An absolute rarity. It just doesn't happen. But there's so many positive news stories out there all the time. Like I have some wonderful stories of triumph and inspiration to share with you in the coming weeks and Bringing Back the Smile. Some amazing ones where, it seemed insurmountable what the person was going to achieve in terms of getting over the obstacle that was in their path. But getting over adversity is something that many people are doing every single day. But do we hear about it? No. And that's what Bringing Back the Smile is going to be about. I'm going to be bringing you some wonderful people from all kinds of demographics and backgrounds and situations that will uplift you. I know for sure, because they uplift me. And the way they have tackled adversity is just inspiring. And we all will have adversity. Like one of the biggest things is we have to face facts that life is a roller coaster, okay? Because society has created so much conditioning, and it is the biggest problem because all the conditioning society has created gives people a false impression of how life is. Life is not a plain straight line. It never has been, it never will be. And the more ambitious you are, the more you want out of life, the more it's going to be all over the shop, okay? But that's okay, and that's good because we learn from experiences, we learn from challenges, we learn from inverted commas failures, because again, it's a word, like we need to change the language we use or how we perceive language, more so. Like the word failure. Failure makes us think of negative We think it's bad, but failures are a necessity. Okay, so you need to reframe and rethink how you see failure. We need failures. You need failures. The more failures you have in your life, the more successes you will have. Once you've learned from those failures, that's the one thing that's key. So if you're failing a lot, you're going to get there eventually to where you want to get to. You're going to succeed in the end once you do not give up and you keep going and you keep failing. So embrace failure, welcome failure, but learn from failures and change your mindset around that word, because the word failure is actually a good one and it's one that we need and we need to welcome. Okay, so failure is a good thing. It's just, again, how we frame it. It's how society makes us think about it. Society makes us afraid of failing, and that's why so many people don't take risks. It's like the word risk. For me, when people are not taking what they perceive as risks, they're actually taking risks, because if they're doing something that could potentially bring pleasure to their life, and then they see that as a risk and they don't do it, well, are they not then risking happiness by staying where they are? Because they wouldn't be looking for that pleasure and that change unless they weren't happy where they are. So by not taking that risk, all you're doing is staying where you are in an unhappy place. And what did I say at the start? The end goal in our lives should be happiness. So we need to stop being afraid of risk and take risks, take loads of risks. Now take some kind of calculated risks and strategic risks and think about it. Don't be too reactive and too led by your emotions, because sometimes we can get too high on something emotionally and we can be rash in our decision making. But once you kind of have a bit of strategy and you tune into your emotions properly and you make a decision and take that risk, more often than not, the pleasure will be the result as opposed to the pain. And think about what you're moving away from. So again, we have to keep changing how we're thinking about stuff. Okay, focus on the pleasure you're moving towards and not living in the fear of what maybe might happen. Okay, think about what you're trying to move away from. Think of the pleasure you're moving towards. That's what really matters. And again, happiness is all that matters. Happiness is all that matters. If you're not happy where you are, if you're not content where you are, if you're not satisfied where you are, if it makes you miserable, why stay there? So it's really important that you're always working towards what you want your life to be like. Like, you live once. Time is precious. Okay. Again, these are concepts. Why I share these concepts with you, and why, especially I want in the early episodes, I want to kind of, it's like setting that framework of how you think. And I want you to start really altering your thinking. Society has conditioned us to think a certain way. Education system has created a certain way of thinking. We don't question things. We don't think for ourselves. I want to change that. That's why in these first few episodes, especially, I want to lay a foundation of some of the ways you need to think, some of the ideologies you need to embrace, changing, as I said, your perception of certain words. It's really important that you do. Okay, and you can have happiness. You can have whatever you want to have in life. You can be whoever you want to be in life. You can experience whatever you want to experience. And that's the exciting part. And I want you to get excited about it. And that's where why not even contact again myself, your media. Let us know your goals and dreams. Let me hold you accountable. Again, we want to bring back the smile. Think of the smile you'd have when you've achieved your goal or dream, no matter how tiny it is. So that's another thing I want you to contact us about. Contact us and let us know your goal or dream. Again, it can be anonymous. You don't have, I can know who you are, but it doesn't have to be publicly stated who you are. But if you're happy for that, that's cool, because that means more people can hold you accountable. We need to be accountable. It's like when I set a goal or a target, I'll typically always put it out there. Like even a few months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I put out across social media this concept I was looking to do. And here we are, we're bringing back the smile. So I put it out there, so certain people were kind of expecting something to happen. And that accountability made me continue to take action to get to this point where now here we are with a show that I know is going to grow and grow and make a positive impact on other people. So an idea to a concept to a reality to an impact. And that's what we want to have. And you can have that for every area of your life. Keep reminding yourself, happiness is the end goal. What will make you happy? And another thing that is important in terms of societal conditioning, it takes very little to make you happy. We need very little, but society makes us think we need a lot. The keeping up with the Joneses, needing these big houses, big cars, needing all this money in the bank. It's all nice. I'm not saying don't have it. I'm not saying don't strive for it. But what I'm saying is don't attach happiness to it. You can get happiness in the smallest things. When I lived in Lanzarote for 5 years, I could never be happier than simply taking a walk by the ocean along the promenade, watching the sunset, watching the sunrise, sitting there meditating, listening to the ocean. That made me happy. Being in the sunshine, feeling the warmth, just being in shorts and t-shirts every day throughout the year. Little things, free things. Think about what makes you happy in life. What makes you happy? What makes you smile? A lot of it's the relationships in your life, isn't it? So who is in your life? This is what I'm saying about your circle. If you need to bring in more people who bring in more uplifting feelings to you and make you smile and make you feel happier, then do that. If you need to eliminate and limit exposure to people, do that. Our relationships are what truly make us happy. Think of your relationship with your kids. Your kids make you happy. Kids are wonderful because kids, especially the younger they are, they haven't really been conditioned by society. So they just think freely, they act freely, they do whatever they want. They don't see fear, they don't feel fear. And that makes us feel good. We love being around children. And that's why, just like we love being around people who are generally positive and uplifting. So again, make sure you're in this kind of circle. Make sure these are the kind of people that you're associating with, you're spending your time with, you're listening to. Okay? It's so important. I can't stress enough to you the importance of the people who you surround yourself with. That's how you bring back the smile. Like again, let's take back to where if you feel a bit low for a day, for whatever reason, stuff happens, or it's just the way you're feeling on that particular day, give someone a call or call around to someone or do a Zoom or whatever way you want to do it with someone who uplifts you, or turn on music that uplifts you. Whenever I'm feeling a little bit low, there's particular music I always put on to uplift me. Like for instance, I love trance music. Okay, so I have a very varied taste in music depending on my mood. But when I'm feeling a bit low and I need a bit of uplifting, I always go to trance music, and in particular Armin van Buuren, who is my favorite DJ, and I love his music and his style and everything. And I put that on, turn it up loud. You should do a bit of cooking and baking. It's therapeutic for me. I love cooking and baking now from a therapy point of view and just generally. And with that music blaring and with cooking and baking, I feel great. It doesn't take long for my mood to uplift. That's what I do. What do you do to uplift your mood? We need to start moving away from the vices that we have, the destructive habits we have in terms of how we react to challenge our low mood. Things like drink and drugs and, abusing our bodies and what we put into it. Destructive behaviors. We need to now start doing constructive behaviors. So start changing again how you're doing that. Now it's about consciously living. We have to start living more consciously. And that's how you're going to become happier. Like last week I spoke about a habit I want you to do, and I hope you've been doing it, is where everyone that you pass on the street, when you're out and about or in the shop, say hello to them, smile at them. Smile at them, say hi, acknowledge them, nod, whatever. Look them in the eyes, acknowledge. That little action could uplift them, but also from a selfish point of view, it makes you feel better. When you smile, you feel better. If you get a smile back, it's even better. If you get a hi back, it's even better. Acknowledgement. We all want acknowledgement. We all want that human connection. This is what's been so hard about the last 13 months, the lack of human connection. We need to bring the human connection back. We are humans, we're emotional beings. We thrive on human connection. We thrive on love, we thrive on positive energy, we thrive on laughter, we thrive on uplifting energy and mood and emotions. We need to bring that back. You can bring it back, but it's your responsibility to bring it back. Like I, on every episode of Bring Back the Smile, will share with you some tips and strategies that will help you, but only if you implement them. Like knowledge is powerful, but only if it's implemented. Knowledge is of no use if you don't implement it. So please implement some of what I'm saying. Like do the smiling thing. I can guarantee you're going to feel better. Do like I said with the music. Turn on loud, whatever uplifts you, off you go. Or a favorite comedian, or a favorite movie. Maybe you need a bit of inspiration. Like one for me that I would think of immediately would be Southpaw. I could barely sleep after watching Southpaw. If you've never watched it, watch it. It's so inspiring. I started writing on my computer immediately after watching it because there was no way I was going to sleep. I had so many ideas running through my head because I was so inspired by that movie about really controlling my life and actions I wanted to take to move myself forward. I was up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning writing out plans and strategies and steps and so on. That's another thing actually we could actually show. Why don't you send me in your favorite, most uplifting movies or documentaries or songs and so on? Send those things again directly to me or directly to your media TV. Guys, bring it back to smile. Let's bring it back. Bring it back for you. When you bring back your smile, you bring back the smile to others. Because when we feel better in ourselves, and again, we love ourselves, we have confidence, we have self-esteem, we feel good, we smile, we laugh, we feel good emotionally. It impacts everyone around us. Because your energy, we are energy. We're surrounded by energy, we are energy. So when we're coming in contact or close contact with anyone, if we have the right kind of energy, that's going to positively impact them. They're going to feel better no matter where they are. So Even without speaking, we can uplift someone. Because even just think about when there's certain people that you're exposed to, that when you're in their company, you feel better even before they've spoken. That's their energy. We are energy. We attract energy based on the energy we give off. You know, we're attracting good. If we put off good energy, we attract bad if we're putting off bad energy. This is where you need to, again, focus on it. Live consciously. Be very conscious of the impact of every thought you have, every decision you make, every action you take, every behavior you're showing. Everything has an impact. So be very conscious. Live consciously. Live consciously in all of those aspects. Live consciously in terms of striving towards your goals, striving towards happiness. Be very clear on what makes you happy. And be very clear as well and conscious of how your behaviors impact other people. And we are the human race. Let's bring back human connection. Let's bring it back more than ever. Let's exhibit love. Love is the most powerful force that there is. When you live a life that's based on love and giving off love, it is so powerful. Like if the world acted out of love, even 20, 30% of the people in it, it is such a powerful force that it become unstoppable. And this is the power each of us have. Now think of when you feel loved, how powerful is that? Think of when you give off love, how powerful is that? And I'm not just talking about intimate like love, I mean any form of love. You know, truly, it's like when you give of yourself unconditionally, when you give of yourself in some way, in a selfless way that is without ulterior motives. You're not looking for something back. You're just doing it because it's the right thing to do, or you just like being a good person, or it's just kind. Think of dogs. Why do we love dogs so much? Look at the unconditional love. No matter what you put that dog through, what you do to that dog, it will show you love. No matter if you're so bad to the dog, it still shows you love. If you're really good to the dog, it shows you even more love. It's unconditional. It's amazing. That's why dogs are such beautiful animals. Animals in general are so beautiful, but dogs, especially for that aspect, are so beautiful, and why people love them so much. You know, so we need to, as humans, start acting more that way. That's why you just even smiling at people as you pass them is powerful. So I hope what I shared with you on this week's show of Bringing Back the Smile has helped. I hope it's brought back a little bit of a smile, or given you some strategies and tips and tools that will help you to bring back the smile, depending on where you are right now. Remember, smiling is powerful. When you smile, you feel better. It's guaranteed. It's like I say with exercise. When you exercise, you're guaranteed to feel better. It will uplift your mood. Smiling is the exact same thing. So become conscious, live consciously, become conscious of your actions, become conscious of, doing things that will uplift you when you need it. Positive mind feed to keep your mind feeling fresh and uplifted and inspired and motivated. Remember the control tower. Be conscious of how you impact other people and the way you live your life, the words you speak, the actions you do, decisions you make, the behaviors you have, the energy you give off. Remember, we are all energy. So let's start creating positive energy. I hope this has helped. I really do. Please give your feedback. Please send in your messages. As I said, contact me directly or contact Little Media TV. And if you'd like to be involved in the show, whether it be to have a chat with me about your story, your background, an uplifting story, if you'd like to tell a joke, if you want to wish someone a happy birthday, if you want to share some movie or song that you like that's uplifting, if you'd like to be on a play bit of music, anything, contact us. And also, listen out future episodes. We're going to be sharing what we're going to be doing. It's going to be big, and we're so excited about it. And we're going to announce it in the coming weeks. As I said, musicians, comedians, uplifting, information, everything. It's going to be amazing. So watch out for that. Anyway, bring back the smile. Bring it back to you. Bring it back to everyone around you. Have a good one. Dave Sheahan here signing off for Bringing Back the Smile. Chat to you next week.